मेरे साथ है खोसला वेंचर्स के फाउंडर विनोद खोसला। मिस्टर खोसला, थैंक यू फॉर टेकिंग टाइम आउट फॉर CNBC आवाज एंड CNBC TV 18। आप काफी समय से कंपनीज को बैक कर रहे हैं, उनमें निवेश कर रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का सिलिकॉन वैली आना क्या वाकई में आपको लग रहा है इंडियन स्टार्टअप्स इकोसिस्टम को एक बूस्टर डोज देगा?
हाँ, the Indian ecosystem is very good now. It's really taken off in the last 2 years or so. So a visit like this brings a lot more attention to it. It's not sufficient by itself, but it's a very good start, and it will bring a lot more attention to what's going on in India, which most people here probably don't realize.
यहाँ पर कई सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि अगर कुछ सीखना है तो सिलिकॉन वैली से सीखिए। तो क्या सीखना चाहिए भारत को सिलिकॉन वैली बनाने के लिए बैक होम?
You know, what's unique about Silicon Valley is culture and the way things are done. People are not afraid to try things. People are not afraid to fail and retry and improve things. They're not afraid to try bold things. And we've seen some of that in the Indian ecosystem, the startup ecosystem. More of that is very good for the country. Yeah.
What policy changes would you expect that the government should take to boost whatever is happening or the action in the entrepreneurial space in India?
I think generally if we open up more of the system, so Aadhaar is great infrastructure. We can encourage even more infrastructure by, say, opening up Aadhaar-based payments, which would be a really, really good idea, and have everybody in the country have an ID with which they can either pay or get paid. And so you get to a digital cash. That's just one example. The internet services there are still lower speed, and they need to be much more prevalent, much more pervasive. That's infrastructure that can either be encouraged with policy or other incentives. So those are very good things. Beyond that, the government policy towards some big areas, digital health is an example. I think healthcare can be dramatically improved with digital health if at the same time we have the right policies. Same thing is true of education. Education, given where India is, and especially for 80% of the people, not the elite universities, should be based on digital technologies because it's much more cost effective and much broader in what it can provide and tailor.
Since you also invest in companies, a lot of people have been saying that investment needs to be far more easier for people based out of Silicon Valley or other parts of the world when they come to India. Is capital gains really a big pain point, या फिर आपको लग रहा है कि दूसरे कुछ उपाय आ सकते हैं?
I focus on the things that are easy to do. I don't worry about tax policy. Of course, every incentive helps. So better tax structures help, better incorporation. But probably the thing that helps the most is making it easier to start business, to do business. For example, if all the business was done through e-governance, and there are a few hundred cities in India now adapting e-governance from a non-profit foundation that Nandan Nilekani and Srikant Nadamuni started, that would make things much easier. The more electronic things are, the more e-governance happens, the less corruption there'll be, the less traceability, and easier to do business. It's probably the simplest way to improve things.
My last question to you, since you speak of e-governance, you speak of payments based on Aadhaar, these are the areas interest you, and would you be backing more and more startups here?
Well, it's definitely a rich ecosystem. What we invest in depends on the people we find, much more so than the opportunity. If we find great people, we tend to invest. But yes, there's clearly a renewed interest in India.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.